Good times, bad times. You know, I had my fill. AOA podcast back again. Frankie C is here. What up, big dog?
What is going on?
Not much, other than the crying Kelsey brothers continue.
They're still crying?
Yeah, man. This is not something that I wanted to be talking about 3 episodes later, but they have given me no choice. They've given me absolutely no choice. So we're going to discuss the crying Kelce brothers and their continuation of tears. Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson. Matt Rife is contemplating legal action. The Oscar gift bags are out. There's a blind top 5 to discuss. Plus, there's a secret show within a show. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, my friends, stay tuned.
We have like a turducken of a show coming up?
It's a turducken of a show. It is, yeah.
A show within another show wrapped in another show?
Yes. And we're going to do our Oscar preview on this show, but we're going to like separate it. And then we're going to take that little chunk of Oscar preview and we're going to put it out tomorrow as an Oscar preview show alone. So,
well, I'm tickled pink about the whole thing.
You look pink. You look pink and tickled.
Thank you.
Look at my water bottle here with this.
That's askew, is what they say.
I hate it when it's crooked. Am I right, ladies? You know what I'm talking about? And gay fellas, am I wrong here? Like, it's a little...
That looks like it should be hanging upside down in a hamster cage.
You know, that's a new trend.
What's a new trend?
Not that it's a trend, but on TikTok there, it's a trend. I don't think anybody's really doing it, where the dude goes on top of a car and puts his super sod through the sunroof, and the girl like a hamster.
What?
That's what they're saying. I don't know if anybody's actually doing it.
You can't do that on TikTok. You could do that on TikTok? That's not a thing.
Before we get started on the crying Kelce brothers, our good buddy TD Freelancer went ahead and purchased 2 shirts from the merch store today. I'd like to acknowledge that and thank TD Freelancer. I hope he enjoys his purchase. And secondly, yes, I thought it would be nice if we offered TD Freelancer a topic. If there's anything that TD wants to talk about, please put it in the chat and we will discuss it. Yes, we'll put that together. Okay. Also, I want to acknowledge that Robin did one hell of a job with some meme action. Indeed. From the other day. I tweeted out a picture of basically this. I went to BJ's. I hate that we're not going on the topic. Fuck it, who cares?
We'll get there.
We'll do it live. I go to BJ's and this person pulls into the handicap spot and just doesn't make any sort of attempt whatsoever to be straight.
Now, what I didn't see, was this a handicap plated vehicle?
You know what? I just assumed so. I didn't even check.
All right.
I probably should have checked, but I didn't. I just assumed, okay, this is just somebody.
Because if it's someone who shouldn't be parking there in the first place,
yeah,
then that's an issue. So maybe they got the thing hanging in the window or something.
They might. I honestly, I have entirely no idea. But I just took a picture of it and I was like, life goals. Look at that parking job. That is not a good.
All right. Well, you know what though? At least they're not across 2-3 spaces. But that's not.
Yeah, technically you're right about that. Anyway, so Robin just had at it with some good old fashioned memeage. He built it slowly over time too, which I appreciate greatly. I don't even know if I put this all in. Oh, there's TD Freelancer's order. There you go. Let's see here.
Down the other way. Here, you gotta keep going. It's before that.
Robin. Oh, ugh. That was pretty funny from Paul. Matt Rife in the meeting. I chuckled out of that. Thanks, Paul. There was one. I don't know. I feel like I should go in order. Burrs was there. Anyway, yeah. So he first asked
there we go,
if it was Frankie C's car, and then he put you in it. Come on, damn it. And then he put you in it.
There I am.
Which I found hilarious.
There's that good looking bastard.
That I found really, really funny. And then he added the bubble, and then a couple people started piling on.
And off we ran.
Bird's contribution was, "What do you mean there's no glory holes here?" Which I chuckled at. And
I'd be backing out of that place if there's. I'm not getting out until you put on your mask. With the mask on my face. I saw this one that I didn't even notice the mask on my face.
you didn't notice all the hard work you put into it?
Now I do, and it's wonderful.
Good job. So
Excellent.
Good job to Robin and TD Freelancer. You guys had a bang up job on the X Twitter today.
Gotta tell you, yeah, there's some creative people out there, man.
Yeah. Do you go to Twitter?
Sure.
Okay, when you go to Twitter, do you type in twitter.com or do you type in x.com?
No, I hit the.
You go to the app.
That's a good question. I just hit the app. Yeah, I don't know.
I still.
That's a good question. What happens if you type the other? Can you go to it? Is that the? All right. So if you open up Twitter in a browser, what's the?
Right.
Yeah, what's the thing?
I don't know. I've been too afraid. I've been too scared to do it.
Don't do it, man. The whole internet will collapse, and we'll be at square one. Ooh, that's a good name.
What if I break it? Square One is a good name.
But X is stupid. Nobody's calling it X.
X.com. Like, did he buy X.com? It's going to be some. Oh, no, he did. All right, good.
Oh, there you go.
I'm
surprised that was available. I'm sure it wasn't available.
Look at the Babylon Bee. Live look at the State of the Union address. I contemplated asking you if we wanted to do the State of the Union, like to do like a live watch along. And I don't know what happened to me between which was probably Tuesday, I had that idea. And today, where I have just been so fed up with people and politics. I can't take it.
No,
I don't know if
you.
I'm going to make it to November. I'm fatigued already.
It's exhausting. It really is. But the State of the Union, what gets me is just all the clapping. I feel like the State of the Union would be 20 minutes if it wasn't for the clapping and the ovations and every State of the Union. After every sentence, it's an applause and applause and applause.
No, I just hate it.
He should just be him in a room, nobody else, and just give the State of the Union and be done.
Think he's going to fall asleep in the middle of it, though? Seriously.
He might. That's fine.
How come I can't stay awake during a movie? And he's going to stand up there for 45 minutes and give a speech while standing?
Because you're a podcast host.
Do you think he does just to get it up and going?
I got to tell you, I don't know, but he's taking some kind of extra vitamins.
I think they both are. And Trump, not so much, but at times,
if I'm working that hard at 80 something years old,
yeah,
I'm taking some vitamins.
You've got to be doing something.
Something.
A Red Bull or something. I mean, yeah.
Something's got to be going on.
Something.
You don't just wake up and start going.
No. Do you right now at this age? Because I don't.
I barely leave my house.
That's true. That's true. I can attest to that.
Right, what's happening with the crying Kelsey brothers?
We came on Monday, and I don't know if you saw this, but we took quite a bit of.
And yeah, when you say we,
you were very insensitive about him crying, which I didn't appreciate whatsoever.
I was the one sitting here going, "Hey, listen, people cry. This is his whole career." I was defending it. I was on
That's what I thought I was saying. Are you sure you got that right?
Well, we might want to rewatch this.
It was Monday.
Right. It was Monday's show. We did 20 minutes on it. And I'm sitting here going, people cry. I get it. It was a lot. I'll say that. It was more than I thought someone would be crying, in that situation. But it's an emotional situation nonetheless. You're retiring your career that you've dedicated your entire life to from probably when he was a kid to now is coming to an end. So I get it. It's an emotional thing. But it's probably not going to stick. Like we all know, retirements in sports,
I will
He'll
be
be back.
furious if he comes back after that much crying.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? Like to retire and come back is one thing. To retire and cry for 40 minutes and then come back, that's an entirely different. You should send out some fruit baskets.
he obviously doesn't want to retire. So what the hell is he doing? There's plenty of people older than him that aren't retiring.
It's crazy. This is throwing me off. It feels like it's Friday. Anyway, Monday we put it out there. We put a clip out. It goes super viral. We catch a lot of flack. Yesterday I catch a lot of flack. Yesterday I do a recap of it, share some of the comments. I cried myself a little bit. I don't know if you saw that towards the end of the podcast.
Well, there were some hurtful comments.
Yeah, they were very, very hurtful. That's what I love about people. They're like, how could you be so insensitive, you talentless piece of shit? I'm like, what's happening? What's happening here?
It's like I told you a million times not to exaggerate.
Be kind to people, you ignorant bastard. And it's like, take your own advice, fuckface. Anyway.
Yeah.
So catch a lot of shit for it, and that's that. Okay, finish the show. Wake up this morning, go on TikTok, and the first fucking clip I see is from the Kelsey brothers podcast. Yeah. So now this is post-retirement speech, and now they're talking about the retirement speech. And they're fucking crying again over the retirement speech. Now, you tell me, it's 3 days of crying already over this fucking retirement. And you watch this and tell me it's not enough already with the fucking crying.
We did not talk about much of your retirement, and I wanted to make sure that you didn't feel any pressure from me to keep going, knowing I wanted you to keep going. I wanted you to keep playing this game.
Why didn't you tell me this? I would have changed my mind.
No. You've always been a step ahead of me in
I'm older, Trey.
In this game. Yeah, but it's in this game alone, you've always been a step ahead of me, and
they're very kind to. Are you this nice to your brother?
Yeah, brothers are like that. But there's different dynamics.
They're very supportive.
Yeah, that's normal.
And this idea of Travis going, I didn't want to make you feel bad, like I wanted you to keep playing and all this. I'd be like, if I was Jason, I'd be like, yeah, I wasn't worried about your fucking feelings on my body.
Well, you're an insensitive bastard. He's obviously, takes his brother's advice to heart.
Yeah, I think they like each other or something.
Something like that.
Makes me very uncomfortable.
It's always been like I've had that flotation device right there to have you out of it, man. It feels empty, and it definitely it feels like it's complete.
Mm-hmm.
It was a success.
What's with the crying? What's with the crying?
I hear you.
It was a fun journey to watch, and like I said yesterday, man, I just appreciate you showing me the way and bringing us all along the journey with you, big guy.
We showed each other the way. You've been playing for a long time on your own, and I look forward to being able to appreciate and watch your game.
All right, shut the fuck up with your positivity. I can't stand it.
It's emotional. What do you?
He cried Travis cried during Jason's crying during the speech. Now we have to go and tune in a podcast, and there's just more crying. It's just wall-to-wall crying.
Some people like the crying. Maybe they enjoy it, and they saw the numbers, and they said more crying, please, and that'll be
crying's dude.
Crying's testing well.
Guys, we got the numbers in, and the crying is going through the roof. How can we get more tears?
Can we milk some more tears out of you? Let's go.
Good news, everybody. I bought you all little pepper packets. You just get it on your fingers and do one of these, and just waterworks. Just waterworks.
Right. They throw a tear gas bomb in there in the middle of the show. We need more tears, guys. Come on.
We're going to cry our way to the fucking White House over here. This is why other countries hate us, by the way.
This is why?
Because we have everything, and then we fucking cry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I could see that.
These guys are driving me nuts.
I mean,
how emotional can you be over somebody just retired? Again, nobody died.
No, nobody died, but you're doing something that Yeah, it's a family thing, and one person drops out of it. It's emotional. I get it.
You want to know how I know I'm right? When you agree with me, when you go, yeah, you're right. It was a lot of crying.
I didn't say you were right.
No,
I
you
think
agreed with me with the amount of crying. You didn't agree with me when I started making jokes about men can't cry. That you didn't go along with, which I didn't expect you to.
That's true. I didn't. Well, I think it was, it was a lot of crying. But yeah, you're right. But yeah, I understand it. I get it. It's an emotional time. I remember when we, not to bring it up again, but when we lost the championship, I shed a couple tears. I wasn't, then again, we were what, 17 years old, but it's emotional. Sports, it's when you put your heart and soul into it, and then it ends or it doesn't turn out the way you wanted. It gets to you. I get it.
Yeah, I've never cried a day in my life. But my thing, and I wish we had J-Sabs on for this. My thing is, women want a sensitive man. They do. But men, believe me when I tell you, they want it this much. It's been my experience. They want this much. They do not want a crier. They don't.
Well,
they don't want somebody who's a jerk off. They don't want somebody who's an abusive asshole.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? They don't. But they'll say, I wish he was a bit more sensitive. And that's probably because he's an abusive asshole when they're saying that. But when they say like, oh, I want somebody more sensitive, men go, oh, I could show my emotions and feelings and cry and it'll be okay. And the next thing you know.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Your wife's banging the neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how this shit goes down sometimes.
Well, did Taylor break up with him yet? I think they're still together. I don't think it hurt them. Does she watch that? You think she watches all his podcasts? Listens to all his podcasts?
I would imagine so.
Right?
It was early on. Remember when your wife and my wife used to watch every podcast?
Erin's in the chat right now. I think she was there a minute ago.
I don't. She was a minute ago. She tuned out. She did her part.
She watches all these shows. She watches all our shows.
Let me drop a couple comments at the beginning here, and then I'll.
No. Erin's a big fan, and she's doing a blind top 5 later on.
Yeah. It's and Robin makes a good point. Taylor will sort this all out in a song. I'm sure she will.
Yeah,
It'll be called "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls." It's gonna be amazing.
She might get sued for that, but
maybe. But my point is that hey, look, Bird, it's true. I don't even want my female friends crying this much. It's the truth. Nobody does because women especially like to feel protected by men. That's not a toxic masculinity thing I'm putting out here. It's the truth. They say they want a sensitive guy, and they do to a degree. They're basically saying we don't want a man to be mean to us, which is totally fair. But they want to feel protected. They want to feel like.
All right, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Years from now, when we do our last episode, and we know this is our last final episode, will you be emotional? Will you cry? Will you be like, this is the final episode of the Anthony On Air show?
I got news for you. I don't think it's going to be years from now.
Oh boy. All right.
No, I'm kidding. Would I be emotional?
Imagine, you're doing this for I don't know how many years. We're going for a long time.
Yeah.
It comes down to the last episode, and that's it.
I'm gonna break down the fourth wall here. I'm gonna put the character away for a second. Of course, I would be emotional. I still don't think I would cry this much, to be totally honest with you.
All right.
I think I would. I think there's a little, like, honestly, I was joking around with you, and I was like, yeah, one tear, you get one tear, all that. Look, you can cry and get a little. You get one of these. Just give me a second. You get a chance. You get a couple seconds to compose yourself. Throw some tears. But after that, I mean, the guy cried for like 6.5 minutes straight. It was a lot of crying, Anyway,
I hear you.
We can't talk about this the whole time, but it drove me crazy because I was like, I thought we would talk about it and be done with it. Then we brought it back because, of course, it took off. And then here we are, third show of the week, still talking about these fucking people crying. I honestly think that Taylor is going to rethink this relationship based off of all of this crying. And I swear to you, I mean it. I don't think she's comfortable with it.
Oh, she gets emotional. I think she doesn't. She writes emotional stuff that gets to people. I think she would appreciate an emotional person.
Let me tell you something. That's going to be the rub when they break up, because she's Miss Emotions and sensitivity and feeling, but that's her department. She don't want him in her department. He has his own department, mowing the lawn and smoking meats, things that men do.
All right, the typical men stuff: chopping down trees and hunting, dragons and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, who's gonna hunt the dragons if it's not for the men? Am I right?
Honestly, God.
But I really, that's going to be the motherfuck of all of this when she breaks up with him, and everybody's going to tie it back to the time that he cried for 4 days because his brother decided not to play football anymore.
I think you're the only one ragging on him. I don't think anybody else is sitting here going, what's this guy crying about?
You know what was nice? There was a few people in the comments that were like, finally somebody said it, that's a great compliment. That's a great compliment.
Yes. Yeah, but that's one out of the 30 that was like, you're a dick.
Yeah, there was a lot of you're a dick. Which really breaks my heart too, because I don't give a fuck what people think of me or this show or anything. But I like people this is why when we poll people about the show, they're like, has a lack of sensitivity issue. That always shows up number one on the
we gotta stop doing those, by the way.
I know, we really do.
We're paying
for them for absolutely nothing. We haven't changed a bit. What was I gonna say now, Frank? Damn it.
I think you're gonna say Jake Paul's gonna get his ass kicked.
I found it. The lack of people who just are like, oh, this is just a joke. This is humorous. Like one woman said, this isn't funny, therefore it's not a joke. That shitty, stupid comment will haunt my nightmares for years to come.
But I thought you don't care about what other people think about you or the show.
I don't. It just bothers me that her vote counts as much as mine and that she's out there in the world and able to talk to people, which I'm sure is the exact same thing she would say about me at best. Which is kind of the beauty of it all. But at least I can laugh about shit. Like she's just like, therefore it's just go be a librarian somewhere. I know that's what you do.
What's wrong with librarians?
Nothing, but just
you gotta
rule
stop picking
followers.
on people, man.
Some people are rule followers a bit too much.
You gotta check yourself
before I wreck myself. Just have a good time a little. That's all. All right, Jake. Speaking of good time, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Jake Paul. He's a beast. He'll put up a fight, but I don't know, man. Mike Tyson, I think he's still got it. What do you think? I mean, yeah, what is he? He's in his late 50s, 60 years old, around there.
57.
57.
Let me set the table for people. They announced on Netflix that they are going to have a boxing match coming up on July 20th from Dallas Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium there in Arlington, Texas. Huge stadium, big stadium. This could have been a massive pay-per-view, but they put it on Netflix. I don't think we're going to have to pay any extra for it. I think
is pay-per-view a thing anymore?
Oh, yeah, pay-per-view. Yeah, all the UFCs and boxing still on pay-per-view.
But on what? Like, where do you go for a pay-per-view event?
Your local
channel?
cable.
Is there a pay-per-view channel? I don't even know if that exists anymore.
Yeah, it does. You're right. I don't know if I haven't ordered a pay-per-view, and I don't even know how long.
I don't even know if I've ever. Was the
Yeah. And even then, I'll tell you what, I wasn't ordering pay-per-views. They were coming in my house illegally.
Along with salads from fucking Janine.
Come on, Frank. You grew up in our neighborhood. Did anybody pay for their pay-per-views? And I don't think so.
I didn't have the pay-per-view.
Mr. Innocent over here. Never asked.
I didn't get pay-per-view. If I wanted to see something on pay-per-view, I either paid for it or I didn't watch it.
No, but we
And I
watch
can-
pay-per-views at friends' house and
Or
stuff.
I go to a friend's house. Yeah.
My house, I could tell you we never paid for a pay-per-view at my house. Never, not once.
But what channel is like what's on pay-per-view right now?
I don't know. Does anybody order a pay-per-view? Let's help out Frank in the I think they go to like payperview.com and order it, and then they.
But
I'm
it
sure
shows
there's a
up on a
pay-per-view.
channel. You could watch it live on TV.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a pay-per-view app. Because a lot, sometimes you can get a pay-per-view through HBO or Showtime, so you go to their app and you just pay for it.
No, but pay-per-view by itself used to be a channel. There used to be a pay-per-view channel that you
Right.
go to, and you had to pay whatever money for whatever was airing at that moment, right?
Right.
It wasn't like you pay for the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. You could watch it anytime. It was you had to pay for what was on at that moment.
Right.
That doesn't exist anymore, right? There isn't
Oh,
a
yeah.
channel. Yeah,
On cable, sure, of course. On DirecTV,
All right.
they still have those channels.
Cool.
Yeah. But
No,
but
it
the
is-
same thing with the streaming. Like you can just get it through whatever the app is that's offering it.
Like I said, this thing is going to make millions and millions. This is going to be a huge.
Oh, I think Jake
Moneymaker.
Paul. I think Jake Paul is a genius. I think
Is
he's
this all
set.
Jake Paul?
Yes, I do. I don't know that for sure. Just looking at it and knowing what I know about him and how he's put together his other fights, I think
Mhm.
this is all him. Yeah, all him.
This is going to be like that Rocky Balboa movie.
A little bit, yeah, because he's what 30 or 20? He's 27. Jake Paul's 27.
Versus a 57-year-old, 30-year difference. But he's Mike Tyson.
Okay, so here's where I'm thrown off. By the way, J-Sab sent this to us earlier and wasn't even sure if it was real. She thought it was fake.
Right.
And that's how crazy this idea is. But he's been doing here's what I will say. There's been a couple of times where I've wanted to pay for a fight. When he fight
I can't tell you who he fought.
Floyd Mayweather, or did that not happen? I don't even remember.
Not a
Somebody in the chat helped me out. But there was one time a Floyd Mayweather fight, or was it Floyd Mayweather and the Irish guy? What's his name? Conor McGregor.
Oh, okay.
That time,
But he's a UFC guy, right?
yeah, but I think they had a boxing match together.
Okay.
That time, I think they did, unless I'm totally dreaming this up. I do a lot of drugs, you know that.
Right.
That time, I almost bought the pay-per-view because I was like, just everybody was talking about it. It was so huge. I was intrigued to see what would happen when the UFC got. I like that kind of. This is a weird mishmash of a thing going on. This, I would have paid for this if I'm gonna, I got Netflix, so I'm gonna get it. But I would have paid for this because this is so intriguing to me. 30-year difference. Okay, now I saw with that being said, I saw two videos. I saw a video of Mike Tyson walking with a walking stick cane kind of thing. And the person was like, this was Mike Tyson a year ago. And then I saw another video of him in the boxing ring recently. It said recent, thing of Mike Tyson. And he looked as good as he's ever looked. Like hit the guy was wearing the things, and he's hitting the guys, and I'm like Jake Paul might be in trouble.
How much does that guy get paid? The guy who has to just stand there and take shots from Mike Tyson.
I don't know.
Just stand there and be like,
yeah, but those guys have all guys that actually will spar with them, and they knock the fuck out of those guys all the time. Could you imagine?
no. I mean,
You're in the
but
ring
you
with-
got to be in shape. It's not me getting in there. You got to be a big guy getting in shape
Yeah,
and have some kind of skill to do that.
yeah, but you also have to kind of defend yourself and punch back because you got to get the fighter prepared. But at the same time, you can't hurt him.
Yeah, I mean, then you want that, then put me in there. But I don't know. You want me to not hurt the guy? Then yeah, I could do that.
I just love how they get in the ring with this professional boxer. Well, can you give? Yeah, well, here's a little padding. Here's a little helmet. You
Yeah,
can wear.
this foam helmet that's not stopping anything.
Yeah,
That'll help you.
this should help.
Yeah, your face is totally wide open, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, the thing you're
Yeah, put this-
velcroing to my face.
Yeah, but put this mouth guard in to protect your jaw. Okay.
Oh,
What
great.
about my nose? Nope. Bang.
What is this for? So you can't hear me crying for help.
So if you're dead, legally, it's the mouth guard that killed you.
Right, exactly.
You choked on the mouth guard. He didn't knock you out.
Bird and thinks all Irish people are the same. I never said that. I only implied it. Let me see here. Miss Justice, just as long as no body parts get bitten.
I remember seeing that live. Do you remember that?
Yeah, against Lennox Lewis.
No.
That was Holyfield.
Yeah.
You're right. Holyfield, that's right. Yeah.
That was an event, man. I remember it was me, my brother, and my father watching it. Was it 90? I don't remember what year. What, 96?
I know you didn't pay for that shit. If all those other two characters were in the room, there's no fucking way.
Oh, I don't know who handled it. I was a kid. I didn't handle bills.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember watching it, and we must have rewound it. We taped it or something. I don't know. After it was done, they showed it a million times. They just repeated it. The fight was over at that point. They stopped the fight, and then it was just the talk of. We were like in awe. We were like, "What the hell did we just see?" He just took a chunk of his ear off.
Yeah,
it was the weirdest thing.
You couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it. Yeah. And it was pre-internet too, right? Could you imagine? Like that would have been trending #1 in seconds.
It would have been like the slap.
It would have been exactly like the slap. Way to go.
Except, piece of a person's ear missing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Wilma Fingerdew says Jake is definitely in trouble. No chance. I don't know. Jake Paul has been surprising the last couple of years. He's knocked out some people.
You think he's got a shot here?
I think he has a shot. In fact, for all the people, like the people that are like, oh, he's Tyson's so old, this is not fair, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, a fight or two ago, I would have thought they were crazy. But now they do make a point that he is 57. Like Jake Paul is in the prime of his life. He can hit. Jake Paul can hit.
Absolutely. But Tyson
can really. I mean,
Tyson, he locks in a couple on Jake Paul. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be brutal.
I'm with you. Because Mike Tyson came out of retirement and fought somebody not too long ago. Did he not? Like I remember somebody was they launched a TikTok challenger.
I don't remember this.
It was some social media network, and they were like taking on TikTok, and he went on it. And they had like an exclusive deal of watching Mike Tyson train and behind the scenes and all this jazz.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, and I don't know how many years ago that was, but I don't think it was too long ago because TikTok was around. So, here's the video. Here, watch this, Frank.
This is him. Oh, this is him when? Now?
This is him.
Recently.
I don't know. Recently. It doesn't say exactly when. Like, Jesus.
Oh, look at how fast he is. That's insane. He looks like Mike Tyson 30 years ago. Right there, boom, boom. Look how fast he's going.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that's not gonna be good for Jake. If he lands a few on Jake Paul, I don't think he realizes. Maybe he does. I'm sure he studies all Mike Tyson's fights.
Probably, but that's the weird thing about this. You have this actor kid turned wrestler turned boxer now, who everybody thought was a joke, but here we are 10 fights later and he's got like a winning record and he's actually knocked some people out. So you're like, oh, okay. And then you have this legendary fighter who's now way over the hill. And I don't know. I kind of feel like we might have like a real even battle here.
If anybody saw the movie, I think it was Rocky Balboa. It was the one right after 5, the one or was it that one, that very first one after the long?
Yeah, there was one where it was the video game that was like, oh, what would happen if he fought this guy?
Yeah, if he fought the champ of today, and
I think that was Balboa.
That was Rocky Balboa, right?
Yeah, just Balboa. Yeah,
just Balboa. All right.
It was the one before the 3 Apollo Creeds,
right?
Or the Sun Creed, whatever. What was his name?
Oh, it was like Adonis Creed.
Adonis Creed. You're right. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. But I don't know. I think Tyson. If we had a bet, I'd say Tyson. I don't know how many rounds. Maybe they go the whole. I think Jake Paul will last a little while, but I think it's Tyson.
Now, you're not a boxing fan. I would put
Not
myself
really.
as a casual boxing fan.
No,
Does this intrigue you to watch?
Yeah, I'd watch this. This is a historic fight in terms of boxing.
Yeah, there's no way I'm missing this. Even if Netflix comes out and goes, even if you're paying for Netflix, you got to pay $20 more for this. I'd be like, fine, no, big
Really?
deal. Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna pay for it. And the first thought I had too was, this is gonna kill. Here's what's weird about Netflix though, because this is part of the story too. And Rhonda's like, let's all bet on this. I think we definitely should. We should definitely. Here's what we'll do. Everybody send me $5, and I'll put the bet down for everybody.
That sounds legit.
Pay-per-view, like you get together, you order these kinds of things, or you go to a bar that's ordering it. You know, it's kind of like an economic driver. Netflix is a stay at home and watch it by yourself kind of a thing. I mean, you can still invite people over to your house and shit, but I feel like people are less likely to go to their local watering hole to watch this on Netflix when they have Netflix at home.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want that crowd, sit at a bar, kind of old school feel about it. I mean, you can watch anything in your house now, but if you want to see the big fight on a huge screen with a crowd and beers flowing, I could see this being a big draw to places. You can get it at home, but it's not the same thing.
It's weird being on Netflix though, because I feel like Netflix has that thing built into your head that Netflix
It's an at-home kind of thing. Yeah,
it's an at-home kind of thing. You stream, that's kind of thing. Rhonda, he'll make more than $5 million for sure. I think these guys are going to make upwards of 20, 25 million a piece. Because I mean, when you think about it, the stadium alone, where this is, I mean, ticket revenue from that alone is going to be insane.
Yeah, and whatever the Netflix deal is, plus whatever endorsements they got coming through. I mean, this thing isn't for another 5 months.
July 20th. Yeah.
July 20th. So
7 really. 7 months.
Well, when
we're in March.
In March, April, May, June, July. It's 5.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought 7.
No, because you can't count. So no, I think from between now and then, I could see them pulling. It's going to be a huge draw. Netflix's revenue is going to go through the roof for that.
Through the roof, because people who even don't have it are going to go like, "Oh, I'll buy it."
Yeah,
it's a genius thing because all right, what are you paying for a pay-per-view? $49.99, $69.99 sometimes, and now you're like, wait, I only have to buy Netflix for a month at $24.99 to get this. I'm going to get it, and then they're never going to cancel, which is what they're all counting on.
exactly.
And you make a great point.
Of course. Which one?
Netflix. Give it to me. Give me a good point. Netflix, the ticket sales, and then you have the endorsements that's going to come from this. You don't think that they're going to ring up the endorsements in the next 5 months? Every drink and protein powder and fucking, they're all going to be all over it.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're going to be
DraftKings,
wearing
FanDuel,
exactly.
one of those companies are going to dive into it and shit like that. It's crazy.
This is huge. This is an event. Mike Tyson fighting anybody is an event, but a guy like everybody, I feel like people want to see Tyson kick Jake Paul's ass. No offense to Jake Paul, but I feel like nobody wants to tune in to see Tyson lose.
No, because we respect our elders, and Jake Paul is kind of a young dick, but
right.
I don't know. I couldn't pick a winner, but this is one I think we're going to touch on from time to time. I mean, I imagine there's going to be some good storylines that go along with this kind of thing.
I'm going Tyson. Who's with me? People, let us know
Already?
who you think. I'm picking Tyson. Yeah.
I'm not ready to make a prediction yet. I want to see. Some,
really?
Yeah, I want to see some shit first.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I was going to ask how tall and the reach of Jake. I feel like Jake Paul's got a few inches taller. He's probably a little taller than Mike Tyson. But you go back, a lot of people were, and that didn't help.
Right. Jake Paul is deceptively large. He doesn't look big, but he's
a big dude.
He's pretty built up. By the way, he's 9-1 with 6 knockouts, Jake Paul. That's
That's
not
only
nothing.
6 more knockouts than I've got.
A couple of those are flaky nothings, you know. But the last couple fights he's fought boxers and beaten them.
I would hope so.
Well, the first couple were like, I forget. The one guy was kind of like a bullshit thing, and then the next guy was kind of not really a boxer, but he's wound up in boxing town. Yeah. All right. Matt Rife contemplating legal action. Did you see the?
No.
Okay, so I'll summarize it. If anybody missed it, go back and watch the last episode. We actually led off the last podcast with this, so go back and watch the last podcast if you missed most of it. But anyway, this comedian, or self-proclaimed former comedian, now business person, Nima Yamini, just dropped this like video on Twitter and was like, I was a comedian and I was on the come up, and then, you know, dark Hollywood, I found myself in a room with another comic, and these two executives were like, if you want online stardom, you got to blow us. And he said by the time he made it to the door to walk out, Matt Rife was blowing both executives. He just dropped this video in the middle of the world yesterday, and it was like 11 something million views within the first few hours. And it was kind of crazy. And the point that I made was, look, if you want to uncover dark Hollywood, don't call out the undoubtedly victim in this situation, which is the person without the power being forced to do something. Call out the executives. Say who the executives were.
Agreed.
Right? It's kind of a weird thing to do from this guy. I mean, I guess he's trying to catch some clout or whatever. But according to TMZ, Matt Rife and his representatives have been making phone calls around town for legal representation because they're thinking about suing this guy for, I guess, defamation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're right though. Go for Matt Rife. If the story's true, then Matt Rife would be the victim here, right? So
undoubtedly, no doubt about it.
Exactly. So that's
just because he's gorgeous with luscious lips doesn't mean it's okay to spread false rumors about people.
Exactly. But you're right. You gotta, if that's your angle of, you want to call out, you know, crazy bullshit that's going on in Hollywood or wherever else, you call out the perpetrators. You call out the people committing the fucked up stuff. So that's, yeah, exactly. Call out the exact name. Did this person name the executives or
no?
You know, in the video, no, nothing.
No, but it was a weird kind of a thing of like, that's why I got out of comedy and became a business person and all this kind of jazz. And I'm like, none of this is really sick. And the thing that really drove me crazy the most, probably shouldn't have, but it did. He was like, by the time I got to the door, he had dicks in his mouth, and I'm like, I don't know. Usually, if you're like, hey, if you want to make it, you got to blow me. There's a little like.
There's some back and forth first. I don't know though. Maybe
like there's a little contemplating you know, again, like I said yesterday or whenever we did it, I don't even remember. I've never been in that situation, but from what I see in movies, there's like,
oh, what kind of movies are you watching? I don't know how
bad ones.
I wouldn't go off of movies, so you never know what's going on in these things. But again, you're right. Don't call out Matt Rife. Call out the executives. 100%.
Like it's not like, hey, you better blow me, and it's like, okay, like hold on, let me get out of the door. Like, how is that even happen? And maybe he was taking liberty with storytelling. I don't know. And
that sounds a little exaggerated. Yeah,
the other thing that bothered me was online stardom. Like, I could understand if somebody's like, if you're going to exaggerate that, be like, hey, we'll put you in movies or something, you know, or I'll get you a comedy special. Don't be like, I'll help you go viral. You know. Because everybody can go viral. You don't need a big time executive, because then you're saying basically that the Hollywood executive is tied into all the social media networks and can make anybody go viral. Here's the thing. I have news for people on that. The leading smart scientist person, mathematician, whatever, they can't really predict algorithms. They just put these things together and watch how they behave, because algorithms are based on people's behavior. So you can't predict what the algorithm is going to do, because you can't necessarily predict people's behavior.
What's going to trigger with people? What's going to hit with people?
What's going to resonate?
What's going to resonate? That's the word. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't know. You can't see that coming.
you can't see that coming. So there's really no way to do that. So these algorithms, nobody really has any idea how they work. They just know how to set them up and let them go.
Yeah, so I don't blame. I'm not the biggest Matt Rife fan. I really haven't seen any of his work, any of his stuff. The only thing I knew Matt Rife from was that thing where he was talking about the kid. Did he talk back to there was a kid in the audience or something, or online? Right? Didn't he yell at a kid or something?
He might have. I don't remember.
Something like that.
Sounds
Something weird.
familiar. Yeah.
I don't know if he yelled at him, but he defended himself against a 10-year-old or something. And that's the only thing I really recognize him from. But I'm on his. If this is all to the story, if there's no more to then suing for defamation is definitely warranted here.
All right, Frank's on Matt Rife's side. Do you want to check in on the State of the Union and see what's happening?
There's probably a lot of cheers and boos.
A lot of clapping.
Who cares?
Let's take it. No? Okay.
All right, if you want. I don't care.
You want to take a gander? We'll pop in for a minute, see what's doing.
Are we allowed to do that?
I want to just see if he's still awake.
I'm sure he's awake.
Yeah, you think so?
They got the poll.
Prodding him when he's
every now and then.
All right, let's see. Let's see what the old prez is saying here. Let me see. Where's the volume? There it is.
Oh, when they do well, the poor go way up and the wealthy still do very well. We all do well. And there's more to do to make sure.
Is there a white club again?
All we're doing. Americans pay more for prescription drugs than anywhere in the world. It's wrong, and I'm ending it.
And I don't know. See, why wouldn't everybody stand and cheer for that? What is wrong with that statement?
Yeah.
This
is what I don't get. Why would the right sit down? No, I think America should pay the most in the world.
Voted for it. We finally beat Big Pharma. Instead of paying $400 a month or thereabouts for insulin with diabetes, and it only costs $10 to make, they only get paid $35 a month now and still make a healthy profit.
See, he's got a lot of energy. This is not the guy I saw 5-6 days ago.
Well, it's running around its campaign trail. He's on TV every day. It's for an 80-something-year-old, that's a lot. See,
Kamala getting her squats in right now.
I don't get why. What's his face sitting there? Johnson wouldn't just?
Are you talking about Dennis the Menace's father?
Right. Why wouldn't he applaud that?
What's in front of him? Is that like a fancy salt and pepper shaker set? What is that over? Do you see what I'm talking about?
Looks like it.
Can you see my? Oh, here we go. This guy with his fucking mask on. What are you doing, Bernie? Give me a break already. Jesus Christ! Don't stand up too fast, big dog.
Well, you know what? He's an old dude. He's got to protect his health.
Fucking needs a mask.
I don't blame anybody. Anybody wants to wear a mask, wear a mask.
Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
On the screen? Okay. What is this?
I don't know what that is. That looks
What's
like
happening
something
over
from
here?
the future.
This looks like it came out of a Greek diner in Queens.
It does.
Pretty sure that has a dessert menu stick at the top.
That thing looks like it's missing the red ketchup bottle that should be stuck in the middle. Right in the middle. See that spiral? That's where that goes.
That's where that goes, right there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like a packet of Sweet and Low over here,
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
I don't get I don't care who's standing up there and talking. You make a good point. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, people shouldn't be paying $400 for insulin. I agree. What's wrong with agreeing with that? I don't. This is why it's all fucked up, because nobody could. Oh, because he's a Democrat. I can't applaud a Democrat. Go fuck yourself.
Right, he just said I'm gonna get in trouble for this.
Moscow, probably. And bring your prescription with you, and I promise you I'll get it for you for 40% the cost you're paying now. Same company, same drug, same place. Folks, the Affordable Care Act.
I do like when he goes, folks. Folks is his thing. Folks.
It's very folksy.
He is very folksy. Good point. Just look at Chucky Schumer.
Chucky Shoe.
These people are loving it.
Come on, Johnson. Suck it up.
There's always like one or two things where the other side, no matter what side's up, with the other side has to like get up and start clapping. There's always like when they, how about our veterans? And they're like, oh
Exactly,
shit, fuck, yeah, veterans. We gotta,
I wouldn't be surprised if they sat just because he said it. Because he's saying positive stuff. That's the thing. When he says something positive.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying. I can't hear it, but.
No, I turn it back up.
Expanding it. They enacted tax credits of $800 per person per year, reduce healthcare costs for millions of working families. That tax credit expires next year. I want to make that savings permanent.
What's the problem with that?
I also think
save everybody money.
He should give us free pizza on Fridays.
Pizza Fridays would be wonderful. I'd love pizza Fridays.
That would be the best. And Taco
Wacky
Tuesdays
tie day
on it. What?
Wacky tie day would be nice.
That's why we're launching the first ever White House initiative on women's health research, led by Jill, doing an incredible job as First Lady.
Feels nepotistic right there. I don't know about that move.
Here it is.
Also sexist. Why can women only get reproductive right coverage? You know what I'm saying?
Because you're an idiot. That's why.
So pass my plan for $12 billion to transfer women's health research and benefit millions of lives all across America. I know the cost of housing is so important to you. If inflation keeps coming down, mortgage rates will come down as well, and the Fed acknowledges that. But I'm not waiting. I want to provide an annual tax credit that will give Americans $400 a month for the next 10 years.
Who was that motherfucker in the middle of the aisle just sitting on the floor?
Dr. Fire Hazard?
Dr. Fire Hazard.
You can't do that. Get out of the aisle, pal.
Yeah, get up, idiot. Go find a seat. I see there's a couple of empty seats down there. I'll tell you what. This you can't deny. Look at this fucking crowd. A little too old for me.
Well,
A lot of gray hairs in that crowd.
That's what it is.
I think we need a little youth and a
Term
little
limits?
influx of youth.
I'm with term limits.
We're cracking down on big landlords who use antitrust law, who break antitrust laws by price fixing and driving up rents.
See, he's saying all positive shit, and they won't.
Well, they all gonna say positive shit.
Which is already helping build.
Well, you know,
He
could be saying,
some-
"Well, you know." He could be saying shit like, "Oh, we're gonna build a wall and we're gonna do this and that." It's like, well, no, I'm not gonna applaud that. That's stupid. But when he says something like, "I want to save everybody money," why is that not universally applauded?
Who's squinting weird and making faces?
Why is she squinting weird and making faces? I don't know who that is.
Remain the strongest economy.
All right, couple things. That's a hell of a pocket square, and also he's got to be on something because this is an energy that we haven't seen from this man
I suspect all of you
in a long time.
want to give every child, a good start by providing access to preschool.
I like the French cut shirt though. That's nice.
You
With
know,
the
I think I pointed out last year.
what's it
Hey,
called?
look at this semen. Did you see that guy? What the fuck was that? That guy looked like if you took a drawing of a semen and made him into a human being. That's what that guy was.
A semen?
No, like a
I got it.
semen. Okay.
All right, let's
No,
go to
last time-
something else. What's the next
Last time
one?
I made fun of somebody's hair in Congress, people were like, "Oh, that guy's recovering from cancer," and I had to walk that back pretty hard.
Well, yeah, so maybe not do that. What's the next topic?
Yeah, let's go on to the next topic. I think we did enough. Although it feels like Dennis the Menace's father over there. It looks like the facial expression that he's making is like a baby trying to hold in a shit.
Yeah, it's like he's sitting on his hands. He's like, I should clap. You know, why wouldn't I? It's look like he's sitting there going, you know, I should probably applaud people not paying $400 for something they could be paying $35 for.
That's
but
not
I'm
what
not
he's
going to do
thinking.
that.
That's not what he's thinking. He's
What does he
thinking,
think?
I hope my son's not bothering Mr. Wilson.
He's probably thinking that. Sure.
No, I'll tell you what he's honestly thinking. Who's going to pay for this? Because that's all he thinks about is who's going to pay for this. That's it.
That doesn't make any sense. It's the drug company. They just lower the drug company's prices. That's not coming out of anybody else's pocket, but the drug company. Going from $400 to $35 has nothing to do with taxes.
None of you do that anymore. why are you angry with me providing you the opportunity for the best educated workforce in the world? They all looked at me and said, I think you're right. I want to expand high-quality tutoring and summer learning to see that every child learns to read by 3rd grade.
Nope, I'm not applauding that. I don't want children reading. What? Applaud it. What's the problem?
He's biting his lip. He's biting his lip and shaking his head, though.
Yeah, he's just applaud it. Why don't you? Nope, children reading by 3rd grade? No, can't do that. I will not applaud that.
Half that fucking room can't read, so it's a fucking lofty goal.
It's such a backwards ass thing. I can't be applauding children learning to read. That's just if a Democrat said it, then I can't back it. Shut up. That drives me fucking nuts. That's why.
Yeah, I can't be. I can't be a part of any of it right now. I'm just tired.
What's in the fucking Oscar gift bags already?
All right, Frank, you know this. We always do our research on this podcast, but this is one of the times where I read the headline and I'm like, I'm not going to read this. We're all going to read it together.
We're going to learn together. All right, let's go on this adventure together.
Yeah. So here we go. In the Oscar, and then we're going to figure out what the amount is.
I love the comments in the chat too, by the way. Thank you, everybody.
Why Trump are they supporting you?
Trump won't let him. Trump won't let him clap. He's thinking I'm with idiots. Yeah, I'm an English tutor on the side. It's really sad to see the literacy levels in children these days. I've never voted for a Republican. Reading is socialism. Got to be careful. They learn to read. It's a slippery slope. That's why they're banning books.
Favorite. That's pretty good, Paul. That's my favorite. Reading is socialism.
What, Biden's for reading? No, then I can't be for reading.
That's pretty good. All right.
So what's happening here?
The Los Angeles-based marketing company Distinctive Assets makes their own independent gift bags to give to each of the actors and directors nominated for their awards. Their Everyone Wins swag bags, while not officially affiliated with the Oscars, is one of the highlights of the night. Last year's bag. I'll take a guess what last year's bag was worth.
$100,000.
$126,000. That included complimentary cosmetic procedures, indulgent snacks, and even plots of land in Australia.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just here you go. Just giving away plots of land.
Yeah.
That is something.
Got a nice plot of land in Australia for you. The 2024 ceremony, Distinctive Assets, is upping their ante. This year's bag. Do you want to hear the value first and then what's in it, or what's in it and then guess the value?
Tell me what's in it first.
Okay. Nominees are going to receive luxury skincare, free trips to Switzerland and St. Bart's, and a 7-day Southern California wellness retreat. On top of all the amazing experiences in this year's bags, stars are celebrating with plenty of food, drink, and kitchen appliances. They've rounded up the most delicious treats of this year's swag bag, many of which are available for purchase online. Let me see here. Okay, here's some of the items. Okay. I'm just going to go through. You tell me when it's time to stop going through items.
Okay.
Antigua Cruz Anejo Cristalino Tequila, $60 a bottle. Blend Quick Portable Blender, $80 on Amazon. C30 Power Sugar-Free Tart Cherry Gummies, $120. Well, you think the blender would have been more than the gummies?
There must be some unbelievable gummies. Now, this is all in one bag. Like, is this a bag, a literal bag that they walk out with?
I think it's like a huge box. I think it's a box that they ship to their house. I don't think it's actually
ship it to the house. They don't leave there and go open pop the trunk. Let's throw this in the bag.
I don't think so.
All right.
Edible Paparazzi Lux Popcorn Tin.
Ooh, is that the one with the 3 compartments? It has like the butter popcorn, the cheddar, and the caramel.
Well, here's these flavors. Inspired by wine, spirits, and cocktails, this limited edition Oscars tin includes a trio of popcorn flavored with Scotch whiskey caramel, white chocolate, and champagne sugar crystals, and real truffle and gold.
All right. It's a little over the top.
If this was the State of the Union, I would be up and clapping right now. I'd stand up, but I'm wired into the desk here, Frankie. I got a little cable there. I can't get up.
Don't move.
Allevi sparkling water, which is like the cheapest thing at $16.
To give them water? Okay.
A chocolates award collection, a bottle of. Do you want to hear what the item is, or do you want me to just say what? Like, do you want to hear the type of gin, or it's
no?
Gin?
You could just gin. Yeah.
Okay.
How many fucking things are there? All right.
Isopure collagen peptides. Don't even know what that is. Karma Nuts cashew cookies. Poppy soda. Posh pretzels. Okay. Sagar Experience, which is like it's a unrefined sugar made from maple water in Quebec.
Sure.
Schwank portable infrared grill.
Schwank.
Okay. Thor Kitchen Cook Like a God welcome package. That's $1,800.
Hello.
It's a wine.
How many more things are we talking about here? Oh, is this like is this like 50 more things?
Okay, we're up to 14. That's it. One more thing. Wind City Sweets licorice assortment.
All right. So
plus
those
trips.
Plus the trips and the experiences and all that. Trips to Sweden, Antigua, the whole thing. How many trips to Sweden? I don't know. How many people? The whole deal. And he said it's worth more than last year's. I'll say 160,000.
Great guess. Oh my God, Marjorie Taylor Greene is wearing a MAGA hat and sweatshirt.
Of course she is. She's an asshole.
Wear a fucking suit. You wear a fucking suit.
She's a piece of garbage.
Do you think anybody really likes her though?
No, I think it's all.
Be honest.
I think it's all. She's on that. She's a big Trump supporter, so they have to say they like her. I think that's what it is.
I think nobody likes her. Like her staff.
She's obnoxious. She is not very smart at all, and she's just awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She hasn't done anything. She doesn't do anything. I know most of them don't do anything, but she's all. You add that on top of she's awful, and you're right there.
Well done. Agreed.
Right. So 160 grand for that thing.
$180,000. You were very close.
I was gonna say 175, and I backed it off a little. 180 grand per.
Yeah.
Now, this goes to the individual like actor nominees, or is this like because they do like sound effects, and is this like all the sound effects people get it? Or
it says actors and directors.
All right, so it's not every category gets a thing. Actors and directors got it.
Yeah, I don't think they're giving the sound guy a basket.
Because when you think about it, all the people nominated for Oscars every year, it's hundreds of people, right? Maybe not hundreds, but let's say dozens, at least over 100.
Yeah,
because you got the sound people, special effects people. I feel like special effects people right there. That's each movie that gets each nomination. There's a couple dozen people in there.
Yeah, and the thing is they give it to those people because they're the ones who are doing interviews. Like nobody's interviewing the fucking sound guy, Right. He's not going to be able to just so happen to name his favorite popcorn and get people.
Is that the deal? You think like you get this gift bag and now your favorite soda is Poppy?
Yeah, I think it's part of it. I mean that's all part of it.
I mean, what if you get the gift bag and you still like, all right, that's great. Thank you for the Poppy, but I'm drinking Coke. Do you have to switch over or do you give it back?
Yeah. I think they know if they give it to 100 people, if 3 people mention it, it's worth it. And I mean, think about look at what we just did. Every Today Show and, they're all fucking doing that. So
I hear you.
All right, Frankie C. It's time to do the Oscar show. You ready?
I don't know if I'm ready. Is everybody else ready? They all said yes.
Boom! Look, new background,
Ooh,
and we're gonna start.
it's nice.
We're gonna do the intro. We're gonna do a whole thing.
That's
You
not an
ready?
actual Oscar though, but it's nice.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty darn.
I mean, it says in the inscription on the bottom, "Do whatever it takes." So I'm pretty sure it's real.
Oh, so that's official then. Okay, good to go. Good to go. All right.
Are you ready to make predictions?
I'm ready to make predictions, but I'm ready to also tell you who I'm rooting for.
I love it. I love
All right.
it. All right.
All right. So we're going category by category here.
Category by category. Here, we got to do the intro. You ready?
Okay.
AOA podcast back for another episode. Oscar prediction special. Frankie C is here. You're here. I'm here.
Welcome.
We're all here. Let's go. Frankie C, we're going to go through some of the big categories here and let everybody know who we think is going to win. And as you said,
Who we're rooting for, because that might not be the one that's going to win, but we'll see. We have our favorites. We do. So
where do you want to start? There's original song, documentary, screenplay. You want to do screenplay?
let's do the major ones. Like we'll do actor, actress, supporting for
Okay.
both director and movie.
Yes.
Okay.
When do we talk about Saltburn? Because I have a lot to say about Saltburn.
Saltburn
The
got
end?
Sure. I mean, was it even I don't think it was even nominated for the Golden Globe.
No, I don't even know if it's in any of the Oscars.
I don't think it was nominated for anything.
That movie.
was
Saltburn review at the end of the Oscar special here. Get ready
All
for it. Okay, here we go, big man. Best Supporting Actress. And the nominees are Jodie Foster for Naiad, Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, America Ferrara for Barbie.
Okay. I would love to see the woman from The Holdovers, Divine Joy.
Divine. Yeah.
What's her last name?
Randolph.
Randolph.
And
She was
Divine
amazing.
Joy Randolph.
Nice Honeymooners throwback.
Thank you.
The Honeymooners with the Stars. Art Carney. All right. Yeah, no, she was great. That's who I'm pulling for. I hope she wins. She was amazing.
Agreed.
Emily Blunt. Aaron and I were not fans of Oppenheimer, the movie itself. And Emily Blunt I just didn't. Gave an okay performance. She wasn't any, it wasn't over anything it wasn't a very memorable part of the movie, her performance. Now, the other nominees, I will admit, I did not see. So I'm going to go with my gut here and say Divine Joy Randolph.
Oh, I like it. I'm rooting for Divine Joy Randolph. I think that America Ferrara will win. I actually felt that she was better than
Really?
what's her name? Margot Robbie.
Wow.
I know, but Margot Robbie, I'm not saying she didn't do a great job on Barbie. She did. I just felt like there was a bit more range. I felt like there was a bit more heavy lifting from the supporting role in this movie than in the main role. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'll give you that.
Also, I don't know. I just think America Ferrara is talented as all hell, and I feel like she's finally getting her. I think it's a big.
Recognition.
Yeah, I think it's a big nod. I think she'll win. I also think because they snubbed the director of Barbie, that there's going to be an effort to make good on the
Well,
movie.
it's a different. Wait a minute. What do you mean? The director of Barbie was not nominated.
Not nominated for Best Director.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget her name. That's probably part of the problem. But yeah, she wasn't nominated. I think there's going to be an attempt to make good on it. I don't know if it can win Best Picture. Possibly. I think it could. But I think this is an easy one. This is an easy one just to get. Let's just give it to America. She's been an actress for a long time. She knocked it out of the park. She made watching Ryan Gosling tolerable, which is not an easy thing to do. And Greta, thank you.
Greta Gerwig.
Greta Gerwig. I almost said Greta Thunberg. It's been a long week. And I think it's going to be America Ferrera, although I am rooting because the only person that did as good of a job, if not better than Paul Giamatti in that movie was Divine. I thought she was
amazing.
Lovely. Because again, see, it's a little different. He had a lot to do in that role. It was a lot of heavy lifting for him, but she did as well. This is not a huge spoiler, but she plays a mom because you've learned this in the first 20 minutes of the movie, 5 minutes of the movie. She plays a mom who lost her son in Vietnam. Not an easy thing to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not an easy play.
Yeah, she was great. She was, it was so believable, and it rang true for me, and I was very she gave an amazing performance. There were some scenes where you like your heart broke for her, and you're like, holy shit, and it was terrible, but she was great. So that's where I'm going.
All right, so Best Supporting Actress, we're both rooting for Divine Joy Randolph. I think America Ferrera is going to win. You think Divine is going to win?
I'll go with Divine.
Okay, love it.
Are we keeping track of these?
Yes, we're keeping track of them. Well, I guess I'll write them down then. Yeah, that's true, because loser has to Matt Rife a couple of Hollywood executives that I befriended. So
okay,
just so you know, don't fuck around. Pick it up a little bit.
All right. Well, what does the winner get?
Don't peanut butter cups.
It's not, so you're good either way. We're both good either way.
It makes things a lot more exciting. Okay, all right. You got Divine. I got America. Best Supporting Actor, Frankie C. And the nominees are Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things, Robert De Niro for Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, American Fiction with Sterling K. Brown, and Ryan Gosling and Barbie. Best Supporting Actor.
Gotta go De Niro. Not De Niro. I'm sorry. Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. I think is gonna win.
And why?
I think he was after that movie. He was the big talk. He was really good in it, and I think that again, you didn't hear much about anybody else's performance except for maybe Ryan Gosling. Everybody else's performance, which I'm sure was great, didn't get the talk, the buzz, as much as Robert Downey Jr., I feel. Do you know what I mean? This
is a rarity, but I agree with you 1,000,000%. And I think I agree with you and disagree with you. When I agree with you, he did get all the buzz.
Yeah.
Buzz is all about him. It seems like he's got the inside track. And I don't know if you agree with this or not, I think he does actually deserve it. I think he was the best in this role out of everybody. He's not in the movie a whole ton, but he's brilliant. And I'll tell you why he's brilliant. You almost kind of forget it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, that's true. He did, and he was amazing. He was great in it. He gave a better performance, in my opinion, than Cillian Murphy. I thought Cillian Murphy, and I know people say this is how Oppenheimer acted. This was his temperament, but Cillian Murphy,
moving scenery
performance, kind of. He was very even keeled through the whole thing. It was, the way he talked about, one thing and the nuclear bomb. It was like, get excited about, there was no range of emotion in any scene. It was just, he was always well, I think we're gonna blow up everything, and it's gonna be great, and we're gonna, I gotta get all the nuclear stuff, and I'm like, oh God, I can't. Just, I feel like, give me, be sad, be happy. There was none of that. He was always very level, with his emotions, and maybe that's the way Oppenheimer was. And if that's the case, great. But then it's not a great example of great acting. Then he probably did it very well, but it doesn't show any great range, in my opinion. I think that Robert Downey Jr.'s acting in that was way better.
I think Robert Downey Jr.'s acting was spectacular, but I also think that Cillian was really good. I disagree with you a little bit there because he's playing a real life character there.
No, I get it, but it was all. I feel like the way it was raining and he was outside standing in the rain and he was talking like he was inside sitting by the fire. He's like, I think it's raining out, and I was like, oh, can you you just created a nuclear bomb. I never heard him get loud, it was always the same. It was the same emotion in every scene, and it just it grated on me a little bit. No matter what was going on, it was always very, monotone and like, all right, and it was 2.5 hours of that. I was like, I can't anymore. So I was not, but maybe I'm biased because I just wasn't a fan of the movie.
Laura says Robert Downey Jr. Robin agrees. Paul points out that Robin won all the other awards.
True.
So good point. But yeah, I think it's because Robert Downey Jr. This is my personal opinion. Robert Downey Jr. is brilliant and great in everything he is, because for the most part he's playing a version of Robert Downey Jr.
True.
In this movie, he was not at all.
Right.
You do kind of lose him in the role because he's bald, and he just plays the shit out of it. I just thought he did a really good job on it.
I agree.
Okay, that was Best Supporting Actor. Best Director.
Best Director is probably going to go to Nolan.
And the nominees are
Oh, sorry.
Justin Triet for Anatomy of the Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest.
Okay. My guess is going to be Oppenheimer.
Okay, now you hate this movie, so why are you saying this? Why are you saying Christopher Nolan best director?
Just the buzz,
just the buzz.
Yeah, and I did not like I guess it would fall under the director's responsibilities, but I did not like the way it was directed in terms of, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I feel like the movie was laid out in a way that but I feel like the movie was laid out in a way it didn't have to be. It wasn't that kind of a story that warranted the way the story was told. My opinion. Do you get what I mean by that?
I understand what you're saying. I definitely don't agree, and I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay. So the way the movie was told, it was told like there was this huge reveal, and it was like a whole big oh my God, like not a twist, but like a big, everything culminated to this, fell into this whole thing. It just, all came together at the end. And it's like, that's not this kind of story. I don't think warranted that kind of storytelling.
What came together at the end? What are you talking about?
The way it was revealed at the end, the whole ending.
What was revealed? You mean the thing that he whispered to,
the last 30 minutes, all the questions were answered in the last 30 minutes for the most part. Right. And it was like that's why they did this. It was very, mysteries were solved at the end. But I feel like I didn't think it needed, this isn't a superhero movie. This isn't a mystery movie. It was he took the idea for another movie and turned Oppenheimer into that. That's what I felt. Do you know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
Without spoiling it, I'm trying not to give specifics away, but the end of the movie I felt was very M. Night Shyamalan, big reveal.
Oh, I
Oh
don't
my!
think
I
so.
didn't see this
I don't know what the big
coming.
reveal is you're talking about. Do you want to say it? Everybody can tune away.
All right. Big spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1. The whole thing with what's his name? The guy that played Freddie Mercury. What's his name? In
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek. He just pops up out of nowhere at the end. He was in a half a scene in the middle of the movie that everybody forgot about, and we didn't know. We barely knew what he was doing, and then all of a sudden, he's the linchpin at the end that decided the fate of everything. It's like, what? Where did you come from? Who are you, and why are you a big reveal at the end of this movie? It was a weird. I have to include one scene of him so that I could justify the reveal at the end. It was a very shoehorned reveal at the end. Yeah, that may be the way it happened, but we didn't know anything about this guy, Rami Malek, his character. And it was very like, where did this come from? It was like, oh, he brought all this up. Oh, okay. He was responsible for Robert Downey Jr. Getting convicted. Oh, I guess so. Okay. It was a very ex machina type of ending.
I don't know. I took it the entire other way. I think when you sit down, this is one, and I agree with you, and I think Chris Nolan's going to win, but I think he deserves to win. And the reason why is when you sit down to make a film based on true events where everybody knows what happened, you have to figure out a way to make that interesting over the course of 2 hours. That's not an easy thing to do.
Well, I feel like where everybody knows what happens or doesn't know it. Like if you go, I went in there not really knowing the story, not knowing what happened. I know the basic, he made the bomb and that's what happened. I knew all that, but there was specifics like, okay, during the movie, there was that conceit of the fish bowl with the marbles in it. This is how much uranium we'll need, blah, 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 blah. They never explained how he got the uranium, and if they did, I didn't understand. It was very not clear. And all of a sudden, they just kept adding marbles. I was like, oh, I guess they got more uranium, and we don't know how. Plus, all these other people that were working on the bomb wasn't really clear. Like, I didn't care about who each person was. Their roles weren't as clearly defined as they should have been, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I know we're focused on Oppenheimer, but he wasn't the only one that built this thing. And they're showing all these people, and they're like secondary, like not even secondary. They're just in the background. And it's like, oh, it'd be nice to know. I guess we know their name, but I forgot this guy, and who the hell is it? They all kind of blended into the background. I'm like, all right, I guess they all worked on the bomb, but I don't really know any of them. I can't remember a single person from that whole thing.
Mm.
I don't know. It seemed drawn out but not really explained.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because you can't really. The problem is if you bring Rami Malek's character in earlier and define it, then you really see the whole thing coming.
Well, if they bring, I thought the strongest actor in the whole movie, a breath of fresh air, was Matt Damon.
Yeah, I was just going to say Matt Damon was great.
I was relieved when he was acting. I was like, we need more scenes with him because he's interesting. His character was exciting and interesting, and every time he was not on screen, I was like, all right, I guess, we were all just like, I guess we're just going to sit there, because other than, I don't know, a lot of it was boring and not needed. I feel like you could shave off at least a half hour of that movie and have the same result at the end.
So it's so funny. I disagree, because I think, okay, we know what happens. We know the ending. And I think even within that, he found ways to create suspense and make it interesting for us. while also leaving us little crumbs of like, oh, none of these guys could go on an airplane because they were afraid they were going to die, so they had to take a train everywhere. And oh, they built a whole city in the desert out of nowhere just because they needed to work on this all the time, you know.
I get that, and that's
this idea of like it was a race against time, and are our enemies going to come up with it? And do we have the smart guys? And can we trust all these people? And who's dealing with the internal strife of what they're going to do and how many people it's going to haunt? I don't know. I thought there was a lot there that you live in that world for 2.5 hours and you kind of feel the way they feel.
I get that, but then you get sidetracked a lot. Like it was very, as soon as you get involved in the building of the thing, and you get your nerves up and everything, and you're going, oh, this is a race against the clock. Then they take you out of it and go, well, now he's going to this party with his wife, and then there's this mistress involved, and I'm like, all right, I guess we're over here.
I found that interesting because in my mind, you think of Oppenheimer and you go, oh, the guy built the bomb. And then you also realize, oh, no, that guy liked to fuck too. Like I feel like it kind of,
No,
like,
I get that.
He was kind of shitty because he had a mistress. Like, you want them to be like this moral, like, I'm doing the right thing here.
No, I understand that, but it was too much of like they could have covered that in 5 minutes. That storyline. It was like an hour of the movie. He's going to these things and he's meeting these women and whatever. I'm like, okay, I get it. Just get back, and we all know why and then the bomb itself. I'm sorry, I know they used practical effects, but the sound was great. I loved the way they did the silence and then the boom, but the explosion was very underwhelming in my opinion. It didn't look like a nuclear. When you picture a classic nuclear bomb, you picture the mushroom cloud, you picture the ring of fire and smoke coming out, like that. It looked like an extreme close-up of a regular explosion. That's what it looked like. The sound was amazing. Because it was very shocking and boom, like a jump scare sound. 100%. But when they filmed the actual explosion, it just didn't look like your classic, what we're all used to, nuclear explosion. It just looked like they exploded a building and they zoomed really close in on it. That's what it looked like. All
right, there you go. Best director. I say Nolan. Frank agrees. Are you rooting for anybody else though, or? Not really.
I don't. Yeah, because the other movies I really have not seen. What was it? Barbie.
No, Barbie wasn't nominated. That was the big controversy.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so it was Anatomy of the Fall was one of them, right? Tell me the other nominees.
Yeah, Anatomy of the Fall, Killers of the Flower Moon, Scorsese, Poor Things, Yorgos Lanthimos, and Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest.
All right. Yeah. See, I haven't seen those other movies. You know what? I'll just go with a random. Just from going off of buzz and whatever, I'll go with Poor Things.
Yorgos. Controversial. I had you down for Nolan. I'm going to write Yorgos. You might be blowing somebody over that decision. Okay. Moving on. Best Actor.
Dun dun dun.
And the nominees are Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction.
Okay. Who do I think will win? Cillian Murphy. Who do I want to win? Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti was... I love almost everything, pretty much everything he's in. And in this movie, he was endearing. He was, there was so many layers to him. He really, he conveyed a character to me. He was this guy. Important. But with Cillian Murphy, again, he may have done the role justice, and he may have played the guy exactly how he was. But he wasn't interesting to me. He was the guy himself, very monotone and no emotion one way or the other. So I'm not going to say it was easy, but I'm going to say it was not as challenging as other roles that Cillian Murphy has done, I feel.
Okay.
But I think he'll win because of the buzz.
I'm rooting for Paul Giamatti. I think it's his time. I think he was great. But I think I honestly feel like if anybody's coming close, I don't agree with Cillian Murphy. I think if anybody's coming close, it's Bradley Cooper, because Bradley Cooper acted the shit out of Leonard Bernstein. Like, I watched that movie and I'm like, I remember like 45 minutes into it, I looked over at my wife and my father. We were all watching the movie. It was Christmas time. I looked over at my father. I go, he's hiding that he's gay. Is this what we're supposed to be like shocked with, like intrigued by? He's gay and he's just not telling anybody? Because nowadays you're like, who gives a shit?
Right.
Back then, obviously, it was a little bit of a bigger deal.
Right.
And I don't really get heartbroken. Spoiler alert. I don't really get heartbroken over it until his daughter grows up and is much older, and his daughter comes to him and she's in college and she's like, Dad, a lot of people in my school are saying these things about you, and he has to lie to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm kind of like, oof, that's tough.
Didn't see the movie.
You didn't see it?
No.
And I'll tell you what makes his performance so good. It's almost not even him, but it's Carey Mulligan, because she's fucking great. Because to play the wife of a gay guy, who's, well, I'll save that for when we talk about Best Actress. But I thought Bradley Cooper is a close second, but I honestly feel like it's Paul Giamatti's time. I think that when people go to vote, they're going to feel like, I don't know if we'll ever have this opportunity to vote for Paul Giamatti again. Yeah, I feel that way.
I don't know.
He's gonna have great roles. Listen, he's gonna have great roles. He's been great in a lot of movies. He should have been nominated for the wine movie. What was that called?
Yeah.
Sideways.
That's it.
He should have been nominated for Sideways. He should have won for Sideways. He didn't. I just think it's his time. I think this is the one for him.
That'd be great. I'd love it.
Best Actress. So we're both. Oh wait, did you make a prediction though?
I think Cillian Murphy will win, but I want to see Paul Giamatti win.
Okay, so I'm putting you down for Cillian.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Best Actress. The nominees are Emma Stone, Poor Things; Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon; Annette Bening for Naiad; Carey Mulligan for Maestro; and Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay. I didn't see any of these movies, did I? Hit me again with, I'm sorry.
Emma Stone. I got you. Emma Stone, Poor Things; Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon; Annette Bening, Naiad; Carey Mulligan for Maestro; and Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, I got to be honest. I didn't see any of these movies, but just from the buzz, I'll go with Lily Gladstone. I think she's gonna win. Just from the talks, the buzz around town.
Lots of Lily coming up in the chat as well. I agree with you. I think because she won the Golden Globe, maybe
she did,
or the SAG award, whatever, maybe both of them. And I think when you have, well, they're not called Native Americans anymore. What are they called now?
I'm not sure. Don't want to mess it up. Let us know in the chat. I thought it was Native American.
Whatever the new thing is. She's an actress of that background, playing that background. I don't know if Hollywood could resist that type of wokeness, Frank.
Emma won the SAG, says Paul.
Oh, Emma won the SAG? Okay.
So who knows? I don't know.
Anyway,
it's probably.
Never mind. Sorry, I forgot we're in the Oscar show.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Lily Gladstone.
I think it's good. Yeah,
from what we understand.
And I hear she fucking stole that movie from DiCaprio and De Niro, which
right.
It's stealable for those two. I think that not that they're not great actors, but I don't know. I think they've done it so many times. It's like, all right, somebody's going to come up and somebody's going to catch up to you and pass you by without you noticing, Even Richard Petty lost some fucking races back in his prime, you know.
Mhm.
And I think that's what we have here. Although I did love Carey Mulligan in Maestro. As I said, she plays the wife of a gay guy, and she keeps a secret from her family, from her children. And not only that, but she almost also becomes the third love of his life, whereas he loves conducting music and he loves dudes. I don't know what order that's in. And then it's like she's almost third place, and she parades around like she's his first love. That's a tough thing to go through.
All right,
Indigenous people. I think it's indigenous now.
Is that it?
Also said
Okay.
First Nation, but then he said ingenious, and I think it's indigenous.
Indigenous. Okay.
I think that's what it is now. All right, so we're both going Lily.
I think so. Yep.
Okay, we're both going Lily on that one, and then Frankie C, the final category.
Best picture. I
Now
think go ahead with the things. What is
10
it? 8 of them? 10 of them.
10. Wait. 10, including The Holdovers, American Fiction, The Zone of Interest, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall, Maestro, and Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay. I would love to see the Holdovers win, but it's going to be Oppenheimer.
Putting Frank down for Oppenheimer. I am going for The Holdovers because it's what I want to win, but here's my thought process on this. When they vote for Best Picture,
Yeah.
they put it's a weighted system, so you vote what you think is number one, you vote what you think is number two, you vote what you think is number three. So it's entirely possible that a film at number 2 or 3 could actually win the nomination. Because I think Oppenheimer and Barbie will split this little ballot.
Mhm.
I think The Holdovers can sneak up the middle.
I would love it. I'd love to see that happen.
Yeah,
That would be great. I loved that movie way more than Oppenheimer.
it was
I thought
so
that-
great.
It was so good. Everybody, I recommend. You got the Frankie C guarantee here for The Holdovers. It's a great movie.
It was really
Oppenheimer,
really good.
eh?
Yeah, agreed.
Wasn't a huge fan.
Agreed. I agreed wholeheartedly.
And those are the predictions, folks. Hope
That's it.
Yeah. So the Oscars are this Sunday.
Worst
And that's-
movie of the year.
Worst movie.
Is there
Saltburn.
there should be a worst movie award.
Yeah, it's called the Razzies.
No, that's true. I guess so. Saltburn. Let's do this quickly.
Yes.
Multiple
we gotta
disgusting.
do the
Yeah.
top 5.
Multiple disgusting scenes.
Yes.
Multiple. When he goes down on the sister during her period,
Right.
unnecessary.
Right.
When the brother whacks off in the tub and then he drinks the water.
Right.
So fucking disgusting. And I'll tell you what though, because this is disgusting on multiple levels. I'm sure there's people who love to drink semen water, and that don't make you a bad person.
No.
It's also bath water.
It is bathwater.
You know what I'm saying? And that's disgusting.
Remember what Kramer said? He's like, I don't take baths. You got little microorganisms having sex all around me.
Just bathing in your own filth. And so as the brother gets out of the thing and this guy goes in to drink I'll tell you what the worst part of that scene was. Not only drinking bath water after somebody whacked off in it and took a bath in it, but he drinks the bath water and then he goes in even tighter and forms a seal around the drain with his lips. So you're literally just sucking the fucking you're not even drinking his bath water. At that point, you're just consuming the germs of anybody who's ever stepped foot in that bathtub.
I wouldn't touch my lips to a drinking fountain. Something that you could accidentally touch your lips to, let alone a bathtub drain.
I have news for you. I don't like touching my lips to glasses at restaurants sometimes, depending on the fucking restaurant. I'll be like, give me a
Agreed.
straw. I don't care if we're going to take out a turtle today. I'm not putting my lips on your disgusting glassware, pieces of shit. So that, and then, well, the penis dancing at the end was a little bit much, but I will say, I love that
Penis
song.
dancing.
That song has really gripped me. The Murder on a Dance Floor song, I like that one a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, that's a good song. It's on. Yeah, I hear it all the time. It's a good song.
By far the worst scene ever was the brother, spoiler alert. And by the way, this is not a spoiler alert, saving you alert.
Yeah, this is.
Fucking saving you from this shit awful movie.
Yeah.
The brother dies. They have a funeral. Everybody's crying. The main character guy's crying. Then he stays behind and like falls on the dirt and like hugs the dirt because you're like, all right, he's fucking sad. Then he starts taking his clothes off and he literally starts humping the dirt. He fucks the dirt.
He does.
The guy's buried under.
The grave. Yep. It's a weird fucking movie.
Anybody who was like,
Literally.
this is good. You don't trust these people.
No, it's artistic. Shut up.
That's not artistic. And then I go to find out, and we talked about this a little bit, that was improvised. That was not in the script. The actor improvised that.
It was not.
Because he's like, that's what I thought the character would have done. No. And by the way, he's balls deep in fertilizer before anybody could get back to a limo or a house or wherever they were. Like, everybody would have turned around and be like, why is the guy fucking the dirt?
Broad daylight. I'm surprised nobody caught him.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, very crazy. All right, let's
Fuck
do
Saltburn.
Yeah, fuck Saltburn.
All right, that's it. That is the Oscar special. Appreciate you all. Oscars Sunday. We'll be doing a little recap on Monday. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
All right. You want to do blind top 5? We got time for it?
Yes, I think so. Unless you want to, whatever you think.
I got time for it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do's it. All right. So just to recap it, Frank's got Divine, Robert Downey, Yorgos, Killian, Lily, and Oppenheimer.
Yes.
I have America, Downey, Nolan, Giamatti, Lily, and the holdovers. So we're only together on 2 of these categories.
I would love to see Giamatti and holdovers win, but I don't think it'll happen, but I would love it.
Aaron C is here for a blind top 5. Cuddles is out. It's just the 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us.
Okay. Hey guys.
Hey.
I don't want to make people hungry this late, but it's a food BT5.
A food BT5? Oh my goodness.
Here we
And
go.
it's a food, it's a 10. It's a food BT10. And none of these snacks are in the Oscar gift bag. So,
Oh, baby.
Okay. So remember when your mom or your wife or the mailman you were way too close with brought the snack, those chips that come like a 30 pack in a box?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
The multi. Okay. So these are things you would find in that box. And we are rating them from 1 to 10.
Okay.
Blindly.
There were 10 different kinds of chips in those boxes?
If you were really, really good.
Okay. All right, I'm ready for it.
Okay. Number 1 is the Nacho Doritos.
Nacho Doritos are magic. I'm going 3 on Nacho Doritos.
Mercury says, Aaron, save us. Thank you.
Yeah, we were talking about Saltburn, which can get gross.
Nacho
right.
Doritos is more delicious than many of the things in that film.
Agreed.
I'm going number 4.
4 for you, 3 for me.
All right, Aaron.
Okay, number 2 is Lay's potato chips, the yellow, the plain Lay's potato chips.
Those are always good. Those you can't go wrong with Lay's. Like you could be in the mood for all these other things, I think, but Lay's it hits the spot every time. You could have that, it's a more general chip.
I don't think it's a great chip, but it is a part of childhood.
You don't
wanna
think it's a
know-
great chip?
No, I've put you name it. Hers, Cape Cod. I need a crispy, crunchy chip.
Oh, you need baked. I like fried.
No, I need it. I need it. What do you got there? 2.
2.
I put it at number 5. You want to know something that warms my heart? My son calls them Lay's Classic. He goes, Dad, can we get some Lay's Classic? I'm like, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, so we got some. We're in the middle of the road here on the a lot of 4s and 5s in the chat.
Yeah.
8, a 2 here and there. Okay.
Okay, let's throw you a curveball with Funyuns.
Ooh, Funyuns are good. Okay. See, I like all these things.
I know this is tough.
There's not a bad chip or snack in those packs.
Here's the thing with Funyuns. It's not an everyday snack, but it is a treat when it comes along.
That is nice.
You know, it's like,
Well,
we get some Funyuns.
Rhonda threw it in a 10, Mercury 9, Bird 2, Robin 9. It's hit or miss with people.
Funyuns is the Donald Trump. It's very divisive, the Funyun. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going number 6, Frank. I think that's where you put a treat and not an everyday player.
I got you. All right. I got him in at number 5, Funyuns.
All right, Aaron. We are ready for the next one.
Okay, next up is Cheetos, but it's the crunchy, not the puff.
Yes. Yes. Number 2,
Really?
Cheetos. Hell yeah.
Cheetos are good. I like Cheetos. I put them at 6 below Funyuns because Cheetos are great and I can eat them. Everything on this list is going to be good. But if I had a choice between grabbing the bag of Funyuns or the Cheetos, I might go Funyuns.
It's crazy talk. The world is ending. You have 2 seconds to leave your house and grab a snack. You're going to take the Funyun over the Cheeto?
I'm grabbing the Funyun. Well, the Cheetos might be a little more to them in terms of filling you
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
But Funyuns are...
That's what I'm saying. All right.
All right. Next
All right,
one.
Aaron.
All right, we're going to take you back to Lay's, but now they're barbecue. Barbecue Lay's potato chips.
I love
I hate
barbecue
those.
chips. Oh. Barbecue, almost anything is good. Is my wheelhouse. Barbecue sauce when you go to fast food, that's my favorite sauce. Barbecue chips every time. I tell you what the best things are, and I hope they're on this list. Barbecue Fritos.
Sorry, Mercury, not your game.
Oh no, okay. We got a 6 Cheeto, a 3 for Rhonda, 6 Mercury, Bird 8. All right, 3 Robin. Not a fan of barbecue chips. I love the barbecue.
Sorry, guys. They're
barbecue.
just to remind people.
What's that?
I just want to remind people they're 10.
Right, 10 total.
I put barbecue at 9.
Wow.
Ajita. Gives me Aj.
Really? All right.
Can't do it.
Love the barbecue.
Yeah. I agree with you. I like a barbecue sauce. I like nuggets. I go barbecue.
100%.
But the chips, Aj. Can't do it.
All right. We are halfway through the list. 5 more to go. Aaron?
Okay, sorry.
No
Okay.
problem.
I thought there was more to talk about. Next up, no, there is not, though. There is not. Next up is Fritos. Regular, Frank. Regular old Fritos. Original. Classic, if you're quoting Anthony's son.
I'm going number 3.
Wow.
Delicious. Always a fan of the corn chip. It's curly, it's crunchy, it's salty. It's far superior to the potato chip, I feel.
Wow.
Always been a fan of the...
Yeah. I like the Fritos, but I feel like they're very greasy and oily.
Yeah.
More so than a regular chip.
Than a Lay's?
Yeah.
I
think
don't know.
they're very... You pick up a Frito, your hand is going to get greased up. I got them in at 7. Me and TD Freelancer.
That's too high for me. I'm happy with my 3, but here's the weird thing. I would put the Fritos barbecue higher than regular Fritos.
Agreed.
But I'm playing the list here. I don't
You
think
got to play the list. I got you.
I don't think it's going to be an option, so.
Hey, never know.
So I put it pretty high. All right, Aaron.
All right.
We're moving
4
along.
more to go.
Okay, next up, we're back to Doritos, but now they're Cool Ranch.
Okay.
Cool Ranch Dorito.
Who's
Here's my-
visiting the Cool Ranch?
Here's my dilemma. I got 1, 7, 8, and 10 open.
Ooh. So you like them, but not number one.
No, I believe they're number one.
Really?
Here's where I screwed up. I thought in the package there only was one type of Dorito.
Oh, see, you're an amateur with this thing.
That's where I screwed up. So I'm going to put Cool Ranch at number one.
Same as Mercury's got them at number one. Bird at number 10.
That's crazy talk, Bird.
I got them at 9.
Yeah, what is wrong with the two of you?
I like Doritos, but Cool Ranch, again, I like everything on this list. But in terms of order of what the thing I'd grab, the first thing, I can't put Cool Ranch at number one. It's not my favorite chip. And I feel like I'm just leaving a little buffer room, putting it at 9, leaving 8 and 10 open. So I have 1, 8, and 10 open.
Let me ask you a question. Who hurt you as a child?
Cool Ranch Doritos. Never really recovered from the time it.
Because that's the craziest stuff.
I
listen. I can't tell my wife what you just said, okay? Because she'll never speak to you again.
Is she a big Cool Ranch? And I love ranch dressing. I like Cool Ranch, but I'm not. All these other chips I'd go for probably before Fritos, Cheetos, Nacho Doritos. I'm sorry, I'm rhyming here. Lay's barbecue Funyuns and Lay's chips I'd go for first, but I'd eat Cool Ranch in a second, but I'd go for the other ones first.
I almost bought her a Cool Ranch Dorito Christmas ornament. That's how much she loves Cool Ranch Doritos.
That is devotion.
It is devotion, big time. I'm putting it number one. I was saving number one for another type of chip, but now I'm starting to think that that's not going to make the list. Either way, I can't put Cool Ranch at number 7. Yeah, I've put myself in the position to really get errand here. So let's see what happens. 3 more to go. I got 7, 8, and 10 left. What do you got, Frank?
I got 1, 8, and 10.
You always have 1 and 10. You always have first and last open.
Unless like a real, it's obvious this is my number 1 or number 10. I can't give them away too early.
All right, Aaron, we're ready.
Okay, next up is a packet of rolled gold mini pretzels.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I started to get nervous there. Pretzels are 10. Sorry. I'm just sorry. I love them. Pretzels. I love them. They're go-to, but they're utility. They need onion dip or
they need help.
They need help for sure. I love, there's a couple other things I want to say, but I want to wait till the list is done. Pretzels are great, but sorry. And rolled gold.
Yeah, this is where I wish I could put pretzels higher. I'm not putting them at 1. I wish I could put them higher than 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to put them in 8. I would put them probably somewhere in the middle, 4 or 5 maybe. But, I'll have to settle with 8. I could live with that.
I'm proud of my 10. It's far too ordinary.
Frank, now when you have pretzels, what do I do?
When you have pretzels, when I have pretzels, what do you do? Oh, you say, I just want 1. I give you 1 and that's it.
It's so weird.
You stop at 1.
What?
With
I know,
chips.
it's very, very weird. Only thing in the world I can stop at 1.
She eats 1 and that's it.
You're eating them and then I just stop. It's very weird.
Huh. Okay.
And you know what's weird with me? I have this thing I have to eat 2 at a time. Not at one shot, but I have to eat 1 and then 2. If I don't know what it is, but I have to have 2, or I don't know what that is. I don't.
Whatever I eat,
I won't be able to.
I always think of airplanes. I just always think of airplanes when I eat pretzels.
Oh, sure.
It is an airplane snack, right? Because the nuts we can't do anymore, so they gave everybody pretzels. And I'll tell you something too. The rolled gold is my least favorite pretzel. Like, you think of a pretzel in any other form, the flat pretzels, like a real baked pretzel, every other type of pretzel is my pretzel stick. Every other type of pretzel is more favorite to me than a rolled gold pretzel.
Oh God, remember those little boats filled with sticks, and the bottom would be all salt when we were little?
Yes. Those were amazing.
I didn't even think of those till right now.
That's so fun. I haven't thought of that since fucking 3rd grade. That is great.
And then you just lick your finger and you pick up the salt. That was fun stuff.
Yeah.
For like an hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we got to get those.
All right,
now I have 1 and 10 open.
Okay. Now, this is also, imagine a little package of cheddar goldfish crackers.
Those are good too, but I will. I like
Number 8.
them. Again, I love all the things on this list, but I have to put them in number 10.
Not good. Not exciting.
They are good though. Cheddar. Most things are good.
See, I'm at a party, and there's goldfish and there's pretzels. I put them together. Now we have a snack.
They do have goldfish pretzels, but that's
They
not what we're
do.
talking about.
But I don't care for it. I want cheddar. I want cheddary pretzels is what I want. So I'll stick them together. But individually, no good.
You're a mad scientist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last one, folks. Here we go.
Last one. We're going back to Lay's again, but now it's sour cream and onion.
Oh, I've been errand.
You always get Aaron because you save 1 in 10 for the last.
Shut up. Had enough of you. Yeah, I wouldn't put sour cream and onion as number 1 if I could change this up. But there we go. Number 1 is sour cream and onion.
That list stinks.
Frank, were you
stink.
waiting for something besides barbecued?
No, I didn't have, I didn't have them in mind. I didn't have anything really in mind. I was just waiting to see how it played out. But sour cream and onion, I would probably, if I could go back, I'd just take sour cream and onion out and move it down to like 7 and move everything else up.
For those of you who care about the director's cut, there were no audibles in this. I followed my list. I did consider when making the list, making one of them puffed Cheetos, but then I thought they're just too damn similar. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I just wanted to let you guys know I didn't change anything like I usually do.
No, going 3 different Lays was a Aaron specialty challenge.
Yeah, no, this was.
And like you said,
as
leaving
well.
off the puffed was interesting. I'll tell you what, and I'm dying to know this question because this is what I was saving number 1 for. Was this ever considered? And Aaron, I want you to answer this quickly. Was this ever considered party mix?
Because I don't
Was
think
that
they
a
do
no
party
or a
mix.
yes?
No, but I want to just weigh in a little bit with Paul. Yes, Ruffles, sour cream and onion are better than Lay's, but I didn't want to be. I just don't know. I just want to stick with Lay's, not because I have a deal with them or anything, but just because it just felt a little weird to be like Ruffles.
Feels
But
like
he's
an under
right.
the table endorsement deal,
He's
if I'm
right.
going to be totally honest.
Yeah.
How much are they paying you, Aaron?
$10 more than you're paying me. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Paul, you're right.
But I think to answer your thing is I don't think party mix does the mini bag of chips.
I thought they did though. That's why I got hung up in it. I thought that was
Maybe
part
they
of that
do, but I
party
don't remember.
package.
Right. What's the one it looks like pasta, the curly, it looks like a spiral.
Like a fusilli, Jerry?
Like a fusilli, yeah. Kind of like that, but it looks like a drill, like a
Yeah, that's the Fritos barbecue.
No, you put
No.
them on your fingers like those ones?
no,
those
no.
are bugles.
Tiny
You're,
little witch?
you're talking about bugles.
No, yeah, those.
Okay.
But the Fritos barbecue look like Fritos. They're the thin, flat, thin, and they come like they scoop a little bit. They look like regular Fritos, but they're barbecue. Am I wrong?
You're okay. We're kind of talking about the same thing. You're right. Those are the barbecue. I'm referring to the honey barbecue.
Okay, yeah, because they
You
have
guys are
that corkscrew looking one. Those are pretty good.
Yeah, this is what
Bugles are good too.
right. But this is relatively new
Yes,
though.
the twists. The twists are good. Yeah, they
These
look
are
like pasta,
relatively
don't
new.
they?
Yeah, they do. But these are new. But Fritos barbecue, you're right, are like regular Fritos. They're just darker in color.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They have the regular Frito shape,
Right.
and they're amazing.
No, the honey barbecue twists though are my favorite out of the Fritos.
Really? All right.
Oh my god, so good.
It's like I don't even know you.
Oh my god, so good.
Very
I
good.
hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you, everyone, for letting me play. And remember, if you want to have a tasty weekend, stick with Lay's chips. I see a lot of money if you guys buy Lay chips. No, I'm kidding. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Not that I got an endorsement or anything, but use the promo code Aaron when purchasing.
Great job on that promo code, Aaron. Remember to buy that Oval book. Chex Mix are good too. Yep.
Ah, Chex Mix.
Chex Mix are magical. Those are good. I could get a whole, those, I forget what it's called. Not mesquite. Savory. I don't know. But you buy a whole, I could polish off a whole bag. They have like they're not a mini bag, but they're not a huge bag of chips. They're like a halfway between bag of Chex Mix. I
Yeah.
can finish that whole thing.
Chex Mix, yeah. You know what else doesn't get considered to be like a snack, which I do love, and I feel like never makes any kind of list? Those Friday potato chips. Like
Friday?
they're like, yeah, like they're Fridays. Like
Talking about the potato skins?
potato skins.
Because you never really see them anywhere. They're hard to get.
I don't know. I feel like they're in a lot of gas stations.
Maybe. Combos are always good.
Oh, combos.
Pizza combos are good.
We could do a whole blind top 5 on the combo flavors to begin with.
They're amazing.
Yeah, those are pretty good. We
Great
should
job,
do
Aaron. Wonderful.
we should do a blind top 5 from a gas station where we're picking snacks.
I'm in.
I don't know what that would do other than we would have snacks at the end of it.
That's enough. What else do you want?
That's enough. What more could you ask for? All right, that's it. Have a great weekend. Sorry, no Friday show. Think of me, though. I'll be at a fucking circus suffering.
No meat, potato salad.
Catch you guys next week.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.
Go ahead.